Hello and welcome to another fresh episode here on Lunch Global. Today we're going to be looking at why you need to eat your breakfast well. And yesterday we were talking about, is eat and swallow the perfect breakfast you're supposed to eat? What are the kind of foods you're supposed to eat for breakfast? What are the good advantages of you having to eat your breakfast every day? And of course, what does the what nutritional value does it add to you, and why it is very, very important? Oftentimes, we take advantage of not wanting to eat our breakfast because we're in a hurry to get to work, or because we know that, I don't like breakfast. Like, there are a lot of people that will say, I don't usually eat breakfast, as if it's like something that someone needs to give you like a trophy. But trust me, it's a mistake we make literally all the time, because that food called breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I am Chong Anamel Joseph, and you're welcome today on Lunch Global.
I am Samuel Odi, and thank you for joining us today again on Lunch Global. Yes, we're talking about breakfast. Breakfast is a very, very important meal of the day. It's called breakfast because you tend to sleep for hours. You probably had your dinner at, like, let's say 7, 6, 8 p.m. at what time you ate last, and then before going to bed, and then you sleep all through the night. Waking up in the morning, 5, 6 a.m., depending on the time you wake up or your activities of the day, you will definitely need to have something in your system for that short period of time that you'll be able to start off your day before you dive in fully into what your activities for the day is going to be. So breakfast is highly very important for the human body. And it also has its own medical benefits because it helps reduces type 2 stage of diabetes and heart diseases. So you having your breakfast help improve your energy for the short period of time before you get into the action of the whole day.
And just as I said earlier, breakfast is considered as the most important meal of the day, and this is because the meal you eat in the morning helps you break the overnight fast you had while asleep. One of the health benefits of eating breakfast, regardless of the nutritional value of what you choose to eat as breakfast, is that it improves your energy level, it reduces the risk of diabetes, heart disease, and improve your ability to concentrate. It also replenishes your supply of glucose to boost your energy level and alertness, while also providing other essential nutrients required for good health. Now, we have various studies that have shown that the health benefit of eating breakfast, that it improves your energy level, just as I mentioned earlier, and the ability to concentrate in short term. Despite the benefit of breakfast for your health and well-being, many people often skip it for variety of reasons. But then the good news is there are plenty of ways to make it easier to fit breakfast into your day. And we're going to be looking at all those things. We're going to see reasons why breakfast is important. But before we move into that, let's just take a breather and we'll be back shortly. Welcome back from the break, and if you're just catching up with us, this is Lunch Global, and today we're going to be looking at the importance of you having to eat your breakfast every day. Before the break, I was talking about how people usually skip their breakfast, and Samuel is someone who does that all the time, and today is a day where he needs to learn that he needs to eat his breakfast because it's very, very important. Now, the moment of truth.
It's always a moment of truth with someone. It's always a moment of truth with me. I'm always on the spot. Yes, I get bad character.
You've confessed it. You know, it didn't come out of my mouth.
Yes.
So that's on you.
Yeah, so that's on me. I actually don't eat breakfast. Like,
I
don't
was
know
super
why.
right.
I don't know. Like, it's just been a thing because whenever I wake up, I'm just about heading out. Probably is a bachelor lifestyle.
No, I don't agree with you because there's
I said
always
probably.
something to eat. The fact that you rush out or we all rush out. Okay, sometimes I do that as well. But there are certain things you need to do when you don't have time. If you don't have time to eat from home because you're trying to rush out, imagine your work, you're supposed to resume work at 6 or you're supposed to resume work at 7. That means you have to wake up at 4 to prepare yourself, get ready,
early.
eat. Do you know that? That's super early. So if you are going to work and then you feel, okay, I don't really have time to eat, then you can eat your breakfast when you get to the office. Well, you're going to be telling us some of the importance of having to eat in the morning.
So you don't be like me there. I have this kind of body that even if I tend to eat a lot of things, I don't get so, chubby. So now, if you tend to skip breakfast, actually eat a lot of junk. You'll just be looking for something to snack on here and there, and all of that now accumulates in the human body, and then it leads to fat, leads to obesity, which at the end of the day, long run now, you start looking for surgery that you need to do to cut out fat from your system, and you will not be able to do those things that you need to do, that you love to do.
Right.
So the importance of breakfast, it gives you energy for a short time, right? That short time is for the breakfast to carry you from the hours of, for example, let's say from 7 a.m. down to like 11:30. By then, it's brunch stroke lunchtime. So you would be able to like just find yourself in any restaurant, or if you have food in your bag that you brought to that you took to your office, your luggage bag and all, you will be able to feed on them. With that now, you're maintaining a very healthy diet, given the fact that you've had something light and healthy before leaving your home, or probably on your way to work, or probably when you get to the office. There are different scenarios. Well, you now not having nothing, you might just probably see your colleague snacking on maybe biscuit or something. You take one bite from here, take one bite from there. Those are different foods.
And we need to avoid that particular character because that particular habit, that's a
not
bad
nice.
habit.
It's actually not
because,
good.
You have to tell yourself that there are certain level of food we need to put in our system every day. And it doesn't even go well when you want to snack on different things at the same time.
Yeah.
Like when you want to snack on things, just know that, okay, I'm snacking on nuts, I'm snacking on chips and all of that. But then that is a very bad character. And if you have such habit, if you have such habit, then you need to desist from it because you don't be someone who has too much of long throat. Like I have to say that.
Don't be someone that has too much of long throat. So that is what, breakfast does to you. Like, even if someone is offering you something, you're not turning it down. It's just that, like, okay, you've had something already. And then you're maintaining a habit and then maintaining just a balance and not wanting to eat so much and then not having so much time to work out, you get weight and all. A lot of persons now are struggling to reduce the amount of weight they have. But if you tend to eat, a healthy meal, portioning your food, and not like eating 5 noodles, 5 Hungry Man noodles in the morning, and then think that's like healthy. No, that's not so healthy. You just like be so full, and your portioning at that point, it's not going to be right.
It slows you down.
It slows you down, basically.
Very slow,
it slows you down. We're just being plain. It slows you down. So eating a healthy and a very good amount of, like a portion of a meal for breakfast is actually very, very important.
And again, why it is important for you to eat breakfast every day. I mean, I'm not saying Monday and Tuesday. I'm talking about every other day, including Sundays. Because when you wake up from your overnight sleep, you may not have eaten to up to 12 hours, breakfast replenishes and store of energy and nutrients in your body, and it also helps you control the weight. People who regularly eat breakfast are less likely to be overweight or obese, just as Samuel has said. And we can say that, you know, we're still trying to find out, okay, to why. But I think one of the reasons, just as you mentioned earlier, one of the reasons why people who eat breakfast well don't have this obesity, because I feel that the body needs that food at that period of time.
Yes.
And you know that the food digests easily as well. And then when you eat the right way, you eat breakfast, you eat lunch, you eat dinner. Those hours that you are not eating anything, and when you feel, it's not like hunger won't strike or you won't feel hungry, but the idea is when you feel that way, what you need to do is to snack on something light before your lunchtime. When you end up eating so much just because you want to snack on something and then you're overeating and eating too much, at the end of the day, you won't be be able to eat your lunch at the right time.
Yeah.
Maybe you end up eating your lunch, let's say, at around 4. And when you eat your lunch at around 4, before you eat your dinner, it's going to be at around 8 or 9.
Automatically, you'll now start getting malnourished.
Exactly.
You start getting malnourished, and then you'll be looking, you know, pale and all of that. People will be thinking you're sick. No, they will just be boiling it up on stress. But definitely, we are all working hard. Everybody's working hard to, you know, to have a better living. But still, you can't be working hard and not have a work-life balance. You should have a work-life balance that boils down to how you feed, how you exercise, things that are meant to do at certain times. You know, like you made mention of going to church. You know, I grew up with, you know, Christian background, and then it's more like a fast every Sunday morning. You dare not wake up in the morning in my house and say, my mom will not even pay attention.
My dad will never go to church without taking tea.
So
it's not possible. It will not even happen. Like, it's not going to work.
So at least it should be something. I think that was what I kind of grew up with. But now I'm beginning to learn that okay, even if it's just cereal, a cup of tea,
even if it's like just the way you say, like, even if it's a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, what do you call it, custard, just something very light, something that won't take time, because if you wake up and then you start making noodles or start frying yam with egg sauce and all of that, that's like a lot of time consuming. But tea, coffee, they're easy to make. Just put boil your water.
Probably when you're getting dressed,
when you get dressed, right? And honestly, when I growing up, I always take my breakfast before church. If not, I will leave church and go home before time, because I'm so used to eating it. And sometimes you can just eat, like there are people that, okay, I have bread in the fridge and I have juice, and they don't want to eat their bread and the juice, just to have something in the stomach. You don't have to be very full. You know, it's Sunday and then you're running late to church, or you're running late to whatever meeting you're going to. Do you understand? So it can be like you're looking at time and you're trying to rush, and sometimes it's very bad for you to rush out. It's not really a good thing to do, normal. But then you should do it because your stomach needs something. If you go to church at around, let's say, people who go to, you know, we have like these days we have Catholics, and then we have other Pentecostal churches that you have 2 services. Some people wake up at 6. Some people wake up at 7 to church. And people who go to church at 7, most of the time you close maybe at 9:30 or 9, and then when you're back, it's already almost 10, 11. When you eat that breakfast, then what time are you expected to eat your lunch? But
I know there's this Sunday nap that's
that Sunday nap. Why is it like that? No, but it is. I feel it goes to everybody. I think I know why. Because, you know, we always think of Monday, so you want to hang out that Sunday. You know, Sunday is basically like a day for visit. Your friends come around, family come around, or you go visit your uncles, your aunties, and your friends. So you're like, okay, let me just take a quick nap and all of that. Maybe when you go out, before you're back home, maybe it's late evening, and when you come in the evening, you start preparing, okay, what do I wear to work? It's Monday tomorrow. So Sundays there's something about Sunday. I'm still trying to figure out something about.
You know, that Sunday nap is, for me, is key. Even if it's just 15 minutes, it's very, very key.
And it comes in hard.
It comes, like it comes in, like it just sweeps you off like that. So what we're trying to say here is breakfast is, we can't just overemphasize it. It's really, really important. You know, it's really important because you wouldn't want to have a long-term illness just because something that could just take you 5 minutes to make, and then you would eat. You now, end up spending the whole money you've worked for on medical bills and, all of that. So it's just of an essence, even if it's just, even in the Western world, even though they don't get to eat the proper, maybe take tea or coffee, they will just have at least banana or apple, a snack of something. There must be something.
Eat something.
There must be something. Just don't leave the stomach empty.
And it is thought that eating breakfast may help control your weight because it prevents large fluctuations in your blood glucose level, helping you to control your appetite. Breakfast also fills you up before you become really hungry. So you're less likely to just grab whatever food are nearby when hungry really strikes. And breakfast also boosts brain power, which is very, very important because you need your brain to function every day. So if you don't have breakfast, you might find you feel a bit sluggish and struggle to focus on things. This is because your brain hasn't received the energy, which is the glucose it needs to get going. And studies also suggest that not having breakfast affects your mental performance, including your attention, ability to concentrate, and memory. And this can make some tasks feel harder than they normally would. Children and adolescents who regularly eat breakfast also tend to perform better academically compared with those who skip breakfast. How true. They also feel a greater level of connectedness and with teachers and other adults at their school, which leads to further positive health and academic outcomes. Guess what? I agree 100%.
I agree.
Now, if you don't eat, when you're hungry, there is nothing, no matter how interesting the gist you're having, it doesn't sit well.
It doesn't sit well for me. When I'm hungry, like I get shaky, lightheaded, and all. So there is nothing you will say to me
that will enter.
The only thing that matters at that point is, Samuel, let's go and eat. I was like, okay, I can hear you.
In for that.
I'm in for that. But anything aside that, I'm like, you're wasting your time. So basically, that's why it's more important. Like, okay, if you have a very tight schedule that you need to like leave your home very early. For the family, those married and singles, you can just maybe make something a night before. So when you wake up in the morning, you just maybe microwave. When you must have had your bath, trying to like get suited up and all, you just put it in the microwave before you'll be done dressing. It's ready. At that point now, you've used one stone to kill two birds, time management and all. You'll be able to have something to eat at that point and then still meet up with whatever appointment you have that early. So it still boils down to eating your food. So you just have to eat your food.
So
find the balance.
Right. There's this saying that says a hungry man is an angry man.
What about the hungry woman?
Honestly, even a child, when a child is hungry, the only thing you get from that child is cry, tears, like they are not happy, or they might be patient to a point, but it might strike so hard that they are losing their patience. So truthfully is when you don't miss out on eating your breakfast, you will not concentrate. So imagine walking into work and you are so hungry, and probably your boss is trying to give you an assignment or give you a task to do. See, there is no amount of concentration you concentrate. Even when you concentrate, you end up making the job more tasky. Because you might understand from the explanations and from the job he wants you to do, trying to make everything busy for you. But your brain is not really focused on thinking on one thing. It's like you're here, you're there, and you're like, what am I even eating today? Will I go to this restaurant, or will I call this woman, let her bring takeaway? Food is going to be like the major thing that you focus on. And while Samuel was talking, he spoke about people who are time poor. That's when you find it very, very hard to be able to make your food at the right time. I said this earlier, waking up super early in the morning, you might not really have time to prepare your dish. And then we have people who are time poor. So if you're time poor, you can still have breakfast early starts. Now, long commute and busy morning schedules mean many of us don't make time to sit down to breakfast before heading out for the day. Whatever your reason for being time poor in the morning, there are still ways you can fit in your breakfast without having to miss out on not eating, whether you're rushing out, talking about rush, talking about waking up, and probably the previous night there's no light to iron your clothes to work, or you're rushing out to church. There are so many things, and sometimes you might have other assignments you need to do. Probably you have a task you're supposed to finish, or maybe you have a meeting in the like a meeting in the morning that you're supposed to do, like a presentation. It comes with so much.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be because you're lazy, or because you don't care about your health, or you don't care about the food you eat in your body, or you don't want to actually maintain that healthy eating habit. Sometimes I think it happens to literally all of us.
Yeah.
And one thing I do as a person is, when I have a time, I usually go to the stores. I'll buy biscuits, buy my tea bags, buy my anything, cornflakes, buy my kilishi. Oh, for you to say my kilishi, okay, let me not just cast you out. But for you to say that, we already know that you went through my drawer and took my kilishi. But don't worry, I forgive you for that. There's always love in sharing.
Obviously, there's love in sharing.
So what I do is I buy things and I put in my drawer. When hunger strikes and I come into work early and I've not really eaten from home, I'll just make myself tea, or make myself some Golden Morn, or make myself something. At least let me have something to eat before I come out here. Let me not just come sit here and the next minute I'm just collapsing. It won't have even happened, because I'll make sure that I have something in my stomach every morning to just help you keep you at alert, keep your memory sound, your brain functioning. And then we came up with these few ideas for you, for you to also inculcate them and give them a try.
Yes. So these ideas that we bring into is just something you should, try to fit in your daily activities. So it's going to save you time. And then if you tend to inculcate this into your daily activities, you'll definitely, owe us something. You need to come back and appreciate us
and get some more.
And get some more.
Now you need to prepare some quick and healthy breakfast food the night before, or on the weekend, such as zucchini slice, healthy muffins, or overnight oats, rolled oats soaked in milk overnight in the fridge. You just add your fruits, nuts, and serve. Prepared breakfast means you can grab it and eat it at home, on your way to work, or once you get to your destination. Secondly, keep some breakfast food at work, just as I said, if allowed, to enjoy once you arrive. Get in the habit of setting your alarm for 10 to 15 minutes earlier than usual to give you time to have breakfast at home. You can swap out any time-wasting habit in the morning, such as checking your emails or scrolling social media, which is one of the major things that make us forget about time before we get to work. And we all are guilty, except for me. Sorry, I am guilty. And use this time for breakfast instead. Now you prepare for the next day, the overnight before, to free up time in the morning to have breakfast. So these are simple tips you can learn, inculcate them, make them a habit. If you have this habit of waking up to check your emails and your phone, then you should make having your breakfast, or preparing them and then coming up, just generating good habits for your breakfast as well, because it's not that difficult. It's so easy. And trust me, if little Annamel can do it, why not you? You can do it. And if Sam can learn to eat in the morning, what about you? You can do that as well. So because it is time to put a stop, we're going to be putting a stop here. One word for you: please always eat your breakfast.
Please always eat your breakfast. It's really, really important.
Right. So thank you for joining us on Lunch Global today. If you have anything you want to share with us at all, you can send it on all our social media platforms. Let's get to hear from you. Have you learned any of these habits? Are you eating right? If you're having challenges eating, you can send us a message, and trust me, solution has found you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.